Good morning, everybody. It's Javier, and I'm super excited to be with you here this morning to share with you news that you can use to make the coming week a productive one and finish this year off with the bang, making sure that you get off to a fast start in 2022. A lot of great things going on in the company, and it's important that those good things that are happening everywhere are also happening to you. So I'm going to share that with you. We're going to get started. We have a lot of information to get going and share with you. So let's go ahead and do that right now. First of all, the first things first, it's important that you get here on time. Don't wait for the text alert. Set your phone reminder, set whatever you have to set so that we can start on time so we can then end on time as well. So I thank everybody that got here on time. If you're here right at 10, right at 9, you're late. We want to make sure that, again, that's part of the disciplines that are required in life and in business. So make sure that you go ahead and work on that as well. A couple of things I just want to let everybody know. We just got back. As you know, we were in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. We had a great, and I do mean a great time. Can't tell you, how much I would like to see all of you go there or go anywhere and everywhere that you want to go. And, as always, life is short, life is fragile. It's important that you go ahead and do it while you still can. This coming tomorrow, as a matter of fact, I leave for Mexico City. I'm leaving again. I'm going to be taking care of some business with my mom. So I need to take her. She can't get about all her own. So I need to take her, take care of some business. So if you need me, call me or text me. I will be available. My phone works there like it does anywhere else. So just give me a ring or text me. I'll be back Thursday. So it's going to be a short trip from Sunday to Thursday. And enough of me. Let's talk about other things, especially you. I want to reemphasize what I've been saying before. This is something that was actually stolen from one of our great leaders and teammates here. And that's the cost of success. Late nights, early mornings, very few friends, being misunderstood, feeling overwhelmed, questioning your sanity, and being your own cheerleader. And that's important because there's a lot of great things happening, like I said, in the company. And unless they're happening to you, it's no fun. And so therefore, it's your responsibility to make sure that you position yourself for success, and you have to do whatever you need to do to make sure that it takes place. Don't buy into this whole pandemic and all this other crap that so many people buy into. Things have never been better. There's never been more awareness about the importance of not just life insurance, but the living benefits that go with it than today. And so if there's ever a time to do what we do, it's definitely right now. So go ahead and make sure that you are willing to pay the price and that you do things that are consistent with what you want. When I do strategy sessions with people, the number one common denominator is that they think they're doing more than they really are. When we jot down and say, okay, let's take Monday, let's break it down from 8 a.m. What did you do to move your business forward? And they're like, well, I made calls. Okay, what time did you make a call? At 8:10. Okay, then after 8:20, what did you do? Well, I just made the call. I mean, well, that's fine, but that's really not a whole lot. How about Tuesday? I was busy. Wednesday, I had to work. Okay, how about Thursday? And before you know it, people look back and say, damn, I never really realized how little, especially things that mattered, I was doing. And so you got to do your part. And so I'll leave you with that as it relates to this slide, because we really want to make sure that, again, everybody wins. We're in the middle or towards the tail end of a contest with FFS to go to Europe, do a cruise that is literally a once in a lifetime. And some of us have been blessed to be a couple times in a lifetime. And I want to make sure that you win as well. So don't take your eye off the ball just yet. Also, I want to share great news with you. For 2021, September of this year is the best commissions month in the history of FFS. Best September in FFS history and commissions paid to the field. And that's ultimately what matters the most to me. How much is our people making? Are people making money? Are they cash flowing or are they not? And I will tell you that the one thing that all the people that are sharing in these record-setting cash flow is that they're earning it. Very, very simple. Life doesn't give you what you want. It doesn't even give you what you need. It gives you what you deserve. And that's just the way it is. It's not a bad thing. I think it's a great thing. And if you leverage the tools that are out there, you'll make money. And if you don't, you won't. Life, period. And that's just the way it will always be. And so make sure that, again, you are partaking in what is going on right now. And as I mentioned earlier, don't buy into this crap about the pandemic. This is the best September ever in the history of FFS, 15 years, as it relates to commissions paid to the field. And that's really, like I said earlier, what matters the most to me, making sure that our people are not just making money, but making very good money that in turn allow you to live life on your terms. Also, it was just announced FFS is going to have a grand opening of the new headquarters, Johns Creek, Georgia. If you are going to attend, some of you have been invited and will receive an invitation in the mail. Others are going to get an electronic one. And so if you do get an electronic invitation or a paper paper one in the mail, just reply to it. Either way, it's fine. They just need a solid head count to make sure that they have enough the arrangement set up for everybody. So if you are interested in going, it's going to be on, I think, November 4th, I believe, or I'll check right now the exact date, but it's in November, so you have plenty of time. I just got notified yesterday because, yesterday late afternoon, and I just registered. I replied yes, put myself down with one, Marcella, and bought my tickets. And so if you do it now, it's pretty inexpensive, I believe. I actually went to Expedia and secured my tickets. I usually fly out of LAX, but they offered me a flight on Frontier, which to me is up there with Spirit. I'm not crazy about them, but it leaves from Ontario, which is 15 minutes from my house. No need to go park the car and all the other stuff and drive all the way to LA. So I took it, and I'm staying, I forgot where. Oh, Hyatt Place, which is a very nice hotel in Alpharetta, which is right next door to Johns Creek. It includes breakfast every morning. And I've got other stuff going on that month, so I can't really stay for too long, but I'm going to get there on the 3rd. I'm going to be participating in the grand opening on the 4th, or attending. I'm not really doing anything. I'm just showing up on the 4th, and then I fly right back on the 5th. I mean, that's just part of the culture. And I only paid $212 per person because, like I said, it's Marcella and myself going, and I thought that was a pretty good deal. $212, including the airfare for per person and hotel and breakfast. You just can't beat it. So if you book early enough, and if you intend to show up, great. If not, that's okay too. But I just wanted to, give you an idea of cost-wise, and it's actually cheaper if you fly out of LAX. It's just that for me, I got it's an hour's drive, and on top of that, I have to leave my car somewhere and pay for storage and all that other good stuff, which is fine when I have to. But Ontario is right down the street. My daughter's going to drop us off and pick us up, so save me some money there. So $424.32 for 2 people, $212 a person to be part of the culture, if you would, that I want to continue to live my success with. It's not too bad, and that's one of the things that I believe everybody needs to make sure you get your level of belief system to the point that you're actually participating in the culture of whatever it is you are trying to succeed at. And I will tell you that I've been part of companies before that I just never bought into them. I never went to their conventions. I never went to their open houses, if you would, and I never made any money. And that's life. And so, like I said, I used to really feel bad for people that were not making it. Not that I don't feel bad, maybe a little empathy, but not sympathy. This is a simple fact that you have to buy into whatever it is that you're going to want to succeed at. And again, for $212 and investing of 3 days plus a write-off before the end of the year, not too bad. Let me back up and ask any questions. Does anybody have any questions about anything before we go on into the training? Any questions? You're going to mute yourself. You are muted by default. And also want to let you guys know that we are going to be switching platforms in the coming weeks. I don't have the exact date, but we are going to what's called Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live is the benchmark of streaming services. And so we're going to be going to that one because the whole purpose of Zoom was to interact, see each other, talk, ask questions, answer the questions, and so on. We really never have had any of that stuff. No, for whatever reason, everybody's shy or they don't like the sound of their voice. I don't know what the hell it is, but we really haven't been able to get people to participate. So we're going to go to Ecamm Live, and that's going to do a couple of things. Number one, it's going to be able to simulcast our presentations, excuse me, in multiple platforms. So when you go, you're not going to be going, so when you go to ffswebinar.com, it's not going to bring you to Zoom anymore. It's going to take you either to YouTube, more than likely YouTube, because that's open. You don't have to be a member of YouTube. You can just see it on YouTube. And also it's going to broadcast it on Twitch. It's going to send it at the same time on Facebook Live, everywhere at the same time live. And it's going to get me out of the editing business where I have to usually download the recording of Zoom, edit it, cut out this, cut out that, upload it. This is just going to stay as it is, and we are done. And you're still going to be able to ask questions and so on and comment via the comments box. You got to type it in, but no more showing or just your voice or any of that stuff. Because, like, for the love of God, I can't get people to participate like the way I intended for it to be. And so we're just going to go with the flow. Any comments, questions, concern about FFS or anything that I've mentioned so far? Anybody? There's my point. Okay, cool. So we're going to go ahead and continue. And what I'm going to do is before we get started, we are going to talk about the new agent portal. Has anybody here noticed it or played with it? Any thoughts on the portal itself? Any people that have actually used it?
Did it change again?
Well, it's newer. A lot of the things.
I used it the day before yesterday, but
Oh, no, it's the same. It's that one. It's that one. It just it has changed. Yeah, no, so you're good. So I will tell you that I do like the fact that it's easier to navigate. That's one of the biggest problems we had in the past is getting people to get the stuff that they needed. And it was also different systems mashed into one system. So you had to jump around and exit one system and get to the other. So it is a lot easier to use. And what I'm going to do, because I just sent everybody via the chat, a link to the PowerPoint, or it's actually a PDF of what I'm going to show you right now. And so that way you can go ahead and literally just review it on your own, because there's a lot of pages and I'm not going to take all the time in the world because we don't have that kind of time. And for those that are really interested in this, I think you should be interested, because as far as I'm concerned, at least as far as I'm concerned, 90, well, probably 100% of the IUL business I do with National Life Group. And so you got to understand the portal, because it ties into so many other things as well. And I'll give you an example of that just right now. Okay, so you are seeing it move. I wanted to make sure that you are seeing that. And as you can see, information is easier to find. The search is more powerful and accurate. Reports do load faster. They have new content-rich homepage. Inforce combines life and annuity clients before they were separate. Client views show all related policies, not just one. New privacy mode mask values. So if you're in front of somebody that you don't want them to see the values, you literally just hit the slider and it takes out all the numbers so nobody else can see it, which is pretty cool. And the best part is that it works on your phone and tablet. As you guys know, I travel a lot, and I basically live off my phone and my tablet. Even though I do travel with a MacBook, I don't even open it up anymore, because everything as it relates to National Life Group, whether it be checking the production and everything else that I need to do and my clients, you can now do on your phone, and you can also do it on your tablet. And when I say your phone and your tablet, I'm talking about either I'm talking about either using the Agent app, which everybody should have already and be using it, which is what I do. It's the easiest way to get your business done, and so on. We're going to do training in a couple. It's not next week, but I think it's the next couple of weeks, on the importance of understanding how the commission's renewal structures with National Life and FFS work. Because what's happening is, as you know, we have a drop off of agents that drop off for whatever reason, primarily because they don't renew their license. And what happens when they don't renew their license, their cases get reassigned to somebody else. And so I'm going to be asking you questions such as, let's just say we have client Joe is a client, and let's just say Maria is the agent. Got him on board, got him an IUL to be more precise. Life is good. 5 years later, Maria just falls off the face of the earth, does not renew the license, and then all of a sudden that policy or servicing is reissued, and it's simply going to be assigned to somebody else to service that policy, and it goes to, let's just say, Steve. So Steve is the new servicing agent. So the question is, what does Steve get out of it when it gets switched to him? Anybody? I get this question a lot because they are right now reassigning a lot of policies once again. This happens every year. I picked one up. I had to actually find out, not because of the company, but because the client called me and said, hey, I understand you're my agent. My old agent, I can't get a hold of her. And I looked into it and I didn't have access. So first thing you need to do is contact National Life and say, hey, I've got a client, requesting info, and I'm not the servicing agent. I can't see it. It's not in my back office. And then it was, for the lack of a better phrase, live on my side as well. So like I said, in that case, you get assigned the new policy from any agent that fell off the face of the earth, and now you're the servicing agent. Is that a good or bad thing?
That can be a good thing.
Okay.
I mean,
it can also be a bad thing then, I take it.
I'm sorry?
And it can, so you're saying it can also be a bad thing?
Well, I mean, depending on if I had one of those where she was very upset, and because the agent, she misunderstood what the agent had told her about the IUL, and she wanted to pull all her money out, and she started kind of yelling at me. So, it just depends on how the policy was established.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Thank you. Somebody else, what are your thoughts when that happens? usually either A, you get an email from FFS or National Life Group saying you're now the servicing agent on this policy, or like me, the client reaches out to you fast, because what happens is that they make a stink with National Life Group, and then they say, great, we're going to give it to Javier, and then immediately they get a hold of me when it's not even in my office. So what are your experiences with picking up policies? Anybody else?
I've had a client like that come in through an annuity, and he actually had 2 or 3 annuities, and National Life Group contacted me and said, hey, this is now your person. And then I picked up somebody else who left with an IUL, and then I was able to actually do an annual review and then put her child in an IUL.
Okay. And so everybody's right. And I thank you for participating, because, just like everybody here is saying, it could be good or bad. I don't like them initially because of the fact that 99% of the time, by the time they get a hold of you, they're going to be not just upset, they're going to be pissed. They've been bounced around everywhere, especially starting with the agent that just left them hanging. So they already have a bad taste in their mouth. Most agents have no clue, or a lot of agents have no clue what the hell they're selling when it comes to IUL. So like Kathy said, by the time you start explaining the way the product works, that's not what they told them. They just told them whatever they wanted to hear to get them to sign up. They forgot to mention the surrender charges. They forgot to mention a lot of the stuff that you're going to be the one that's going to take the wrath now, simply because of the fact that you're trying to help them out. And so I don't like them personally, unless, again, they're open. The client is open-minded enough to the point that it's going to be worth your time. The good news is that if you do a good job, and you'll do a good job if you're already doing a good job with old or other clients, it definitely does build the opportunity to build up your book of business, number one. Number two, if you do it the right way, you can sell and resell to either, like the example that Audrey just gave, where you could give it to a child, or you can have them a spouse or other money and so on. So that can also be very, very key as well. But the question, what I always tell my agents, which what I'm telling you, is you, the agent, have to understand that you're in control. You're the boss. It's your time. So the question to yourself is going to be, is it worth it? That's the question that you're going to have to ask. And we're going to train in depth about this, because this is going on a lot right now. And I do mean a lot. For whatever reason, a lot of people that were just not making money, not making it happen, they just simply just said, screw it. They just simply don't renew their license, and they don't have the decency to go tell their clients, hey, look, listen, I know you trusted me with your money and with your life insurance, but I'm getting out of the business. I'm going to find you somebody that can service your account and so on. They just leave them hanging. And so by the time they get to you, they're going to be more than likely very, very pissed. And I hate dealing with people like that when they're right, because many a times I tell them, look, you're absolutely right about everything you said. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to be your servicing agent, just simply because of the fact that too much damage has been done. And I really don't see a damn thing coming out of it for anybody. And there's nothing wrong with you having your own time respected, because in that example, let's just say, and I'm just picking on Kathy, she picks up an orphaned IUL that is 5 years so far in the books. So it's a 5-year-old IUL, and the client's pissed off. And of course, it's going to go off on Kathy. And finally, Kathy calms the client down. And it takes time. It takes a lot of time to do that. Kathy, what are you going to get for your trouble for doing that?
Nothing. But I mean, I like helping people, so I don't mind sometimes, giving up my time if it's going to help somebody else.
Okay. I mean, like I said, everybody, and that's why I'm saying that who's in control, who should be in control of you, is because one of the flip side to it, just so you know, is that a lot of agents, like, first you deal with a pissed off client, but then the best part is when Kathy comes to me and says, hey, Javier, just so you know, I've been helping this client. It's taking me a lot of time to help her out. She's really upset. She was about to cancel, surrender the policy. I convinced her not to. Blah, 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 but I'm not getting paid on it. Is she supposed to get paid or not get paid if she takes over as the agent? Anybody know?
I think you don't. I mean, I don't. I actually don't know that. I don't think you do.
I mean, I'm telling you this because you have to be very aware. This is for all of us, and this is what the training is going to entail. And so I talk to agents all the time, and I would say 99.9% of the time, they give me the wrong answer. And then I have to deal with a pissed off agent on top of that. And then the first thing I tell the agent is, well, first of all, that's on you. because you're an agent. You're supposed to know this stuff, search for answers, and if not, at least be more open-minded, if you would, to what you're going to get into. So like I said, every time I get a notification that I've been assigned as a servicing agent, I always reply saying, no, thank you. And I want to say all the time, most of the time, I don't take it because of the simple fact that I like to give good service. I love helping people as well, but I'm not stupid either. And I know that I'm not going to be able to help 20 people that are pissed off at the company, but yet I'm not going to get paid for it. I mean, what is that all about? So you want me to rescue the policy so it can stay on the book so that everybody else can get paid except me? Then the insurance company should be the one retaining the business, if anything, and so on. And so what I'm getting at is that it depends. The answer is, do you get paid on those types of policies? And the answer is, it depends. And the one thing it depends on is what? Anybody know the answer? One thing determines that. All right, well, we'll leave the training for another day. Go ahead.
I think if you keep the client as a customer, then you would get paid, I would believe. And then, but if they go away, then you don't get anything.
No, that's not true. That's not the right.
I tried.
Good try. No, good try. Good try. No, good, Keith. I appreciate that. Trust me. No, I mean, it sounds good. See, that's what I'm getting at. I figured that if I save this account, what's that?
Referrals.
What about it?
If the customer provides future referrals.
I mean, to be honest with you, before I go work with somebody, and like I said, if we take a poll here, how many people have dealt with pissed off clients that Kathy just mentioned right now, it takes a lot out of you. And so for me, if I'm going to put up with a bunch of crap to not get paid, to hopefully get a referral, but then what if I don't get the referral, then I'm still dealing with the crap for free. I'd rather go deal with my existing clients and work for referrals from there, because most people are not actively mining their current clients for referrals. You have a better shot, I'll tell you that right now, mining your existing clients for referrals. But again, how much do you have going on in your business? How much do you have going on in your life? Do you have that kind of time? Do you really want to do that? I mean, if I want, you could do that. But for me, to hopefully get a referral, knowing that somebody else will definitely get paid whether I succeed or I fail, I don't like that. I just don't like that. And again, everybody's different. Everybody's different. But me personally, I don't want to deal with it. But that's not the one thing. There's only one thing that determines, and I'm talking policy-wise. Policy. What is the procedure? The policy. What is the company policy as to when a new servicing agent gets paid versus them doing all the work for free? One thing.
Javier, isn't it based on how long the term is and the 3% as far as the commission renewal?
You're on the right track. Well, let's just do the training right now. What the hell? Okay, save me another damn webinar. And that is, you're right. You're 100% right. It determines how old the policy is. We're talking about IULs here. And so in the example I gave in the beginning, a person has had this policy for 5 years. The agent did not renew. So it's my client. I got paid when I sold it. I'm getting paid renewals, but then I don't renew my license anymore. And so on the 5th year, I call up and say, hey, where the hell is my agent? The company says, oh, I'm sorry, but they did not renew their license. We're going to get you a new servicing. We're going to get Jefflin now. And then here's Jefflin's number. She's going to be in charge of your policy. And by the time I get a hold of Jefflin, I'm going to start saying, Jefflin, what the hell is wrong with you people? I've been trying to get a hold of the agent for 3 months. I don't know what's going on with my policy. I need to get all my money out because I want to buy a house and blah, 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 blah. I mean, I'm just upset. And her job is to calm me down and keep me from canceling the policy. And so finally, after a week or two, I say, fine, Jefflin, fine. I'm going to hold you now to an even higher standard than the previous person because that other person screwed me, but I'm holding you to a higher standard and I'm going to be calling you and blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Now, Jefflin's happy because she saved the policy. The company's happy because they get to make money, of course. But then Jefflin looks at the commission statement and says, wait, I don't see this client on my books. I'm not getting paid. She's going to call home office. She's going to call National Life Group. The National Life Group is going to say, oh, Jefflin, yeah, I forgot to tell you. I mean, thank you for saving that policy. You did a great job, but you're just not going to get paid on it. You're just not going to get paid. As a matter of fact, we're going to keep paying the original agent that basically walked away and left the client hanging and pissed off the client. And then Jefflin's going to say, okay, well, why would I do this then? Well, because you're a good person, Jefflin, and you might get referrals. Good luck. And that's it. And so the answer is it won't happen for sure if it's during the first 10 years, for sure. And after 10 years, it won't happen unless you request for the commissions to be reassigned to you. So you could have a policy that's over 10 years and you're still not getting paid. And so what I'm saying is that you have to be very aware of these things, because then Jeff comes to me and say, hey, Javier, just so you know, I'm juggling my clients and I'm trying to save all these policies that they keep assigning to me because they like the work I do. But I just learned that I'm not getting paid on that. My answer is going to be, well, you should have been on the webinar. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That's not my policy, obviously. I'm facing the exact same thing. And so you have to be aware of that. And then, like I said earlier, for some people, they don't mind helping people and putting up with, whatever. Bless your heart. I'm glad that you feel that way. I'm not one of them. To me, I'd be like, no, wait a minute. Either A, switch the actual commissions to me as well, because I don't mind taking care of all my clients, but this is not my hobby. This is my business. And again, that I cannot answer for you. You need to answer that for yourself. Would you do it? Hopefully you get a few referrals here and there. But just so you know, after you deal with the few pissed off clients that you had nothing to do with all the bad information they received, and then you see how really bad most agents are trained. That's one of the black eyes of our industry. And I'm not talking about company. I'm not talking about National Life Group. I'm talking about the life insurance industry and the whole damn business world. Customer service sucks for most people. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They give bad information. They on purpose don't mention things like surrender charges, and then you get to deal with it. And for your troubles, you get a whopping goose egg, nothing. Again, maybe you turn them around, wait for the 10-year mark, and then start getting paid for them. It's up to you. But that's a good answer, Jeff. And thank you very much for that. Any question? Any thoughts on that? Any questions? Especially for you that are producing. If you're not producing anything, I really don't want to hear, because I'm looking for people that are actually in the trenches. Your thoughts on that policy, if you would. Anybody?
Javier, I have a question.
Go ahead.
I mean, it seems like a bad policy, obviously, for the life insurance carrier to do that. I mean, what would keep someone from just saying, you know what, I'm not going to call this person they've assigned to me. I'm not going to pick up the phone when they call me. I mean, is there any negative ramifications for someone who just says, forget it, I don't want anything to do with it?
The answer is no. The clients just eventually die off, I guess. But there's no negative ramifications for the agent, because, like, for me, I tell them, don't do that to me. Don't send them to me. That's not a compliment to me. That's not an honor. That's not nothing. And so I get an email, oh, congratulations, you've been assigned as a new servicing agent for this. Here's the name, number of this person. Please call them. They're upset. I'm like, okay, you call them. I just don't take them personally. I don't like them personally. I don't take them personally. I think that it's a long shot to try to get to mine something out of them. Like I said earlier, I'd rather go mine that for my own existing clients than do that. Does that answer your question? But there's no negative ramifications at all. And I think that's part of why there's such a bad rap a lot of the times, even in this industry, for things like that. Because most agents just simply get randomly. I can pull up my persistency rate was like something like 98%. And then it dropped. And I started looking into it. And I go, why the hell did my persistency rate drop? I'm not losing my clients. And what it was is that there were people that they were just simply assigning to me, not even notifying me, just putting them in my back office. And so technically I'm the servicing agent, which I didn't even know. They eventually say, go pound sand. They surrender their policy. And that was hitting my persistency rate. And on top of that, not even getting paid for it. So screwed me up in that regard. And so I called and said, never assign me anything unless you talk to me first. And unless you bring the servicing commissions with it, I want nothing to do with that. That's just me. I don't want anything to do with it. Any thoughts from anybody that, again, that are producers out there? Anybody? All right. Well, we're going to continue. So this is very important, going back to the agent portal, because if you don't have all the information on your, whether it's your own client or somebody that was assigned to you, you're not going to be able to service them the way you should. And that's what happened to me this past week. Like I said, the person was pretty upset. I was about to take off to Dubai. And so I told her, look, first of all, I don't even have your information on my portal, on my back end, so I can't even answer those questions that you're telling me. And so I don't know what to tell you. Very confrontational. I go, so whatever National Life Group told you, either A, go back and ask them to pull it up because they have the information, or you're going to have to give me time. And I'm not going to be checking while I'm gone to Dubai either. I come back on this date. If you want to, I'll give you a call 2 days after that. If it's here, we'll do a Zoom meeting and set you straight and get you going. And sure enough, we went ahead and and did that. When I came back, it was in my back office because I'm not going to check it while I'm on vacation. I checked it when I came back. I called her, I said, like I promised I would, and we went over everything, and she was very, very happy with it. But the only reason we got that far was because along with that, I checked my commission statement, and I also called FFS to make sure that this person was now somebody I'm getting paid for. And that's why I did what I did. And now she's extremely happy. And now I'm getting referrals, but that's after the fact that I would not even take the referrals while I was working for free. That's just not my part of my MO, if you would. For some, you're barely starting off. Maybe you have no other choice, or you feel you have no other choice, but you do. Then you take it for the team. But I'm not into taking it for the team in that regards, because I don't think anybody should work for free. And it's a catch-22, if you would. But at the end of the day, I'm always looking out. And the sad part is that the client is the one that ends up losing in a situation like that. Last questions, thoughts, or concerns on that particular subject? Anybody? All right. So the rule, so basically we'll close the book on this one by just making sure that you're always getting paid. Check your commission statements. It should appear as a renewal. And if it's not appearing there, call FFS commissions and make sure that that's the case. Because if you're not, then you have the decision to make. You can ignore it, let it die on the vine, which I hope you don't. At least let them know you're not going to be servicing it. You don't want it. And they can remove it from your portal and maybe assign it to somebody else and do that as well. Questions? All right. So like I said, part of what I like with the new, and when I say new, I've been working with National Life Group and trying to get them to make these changes for 15 years. And so if you've seen it in the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, it probably looks kind of the same because it's been morphing for the last year, but they finally got it to where they do consider it a new portal. And I can tell you from first-hand experience, it's beautiful because when you go in there to the home office, you'll get the snapshot of not just your new business, Inforce book, transfers and exchanges, where everything stands at any given time. And that's really important because you're going to also get the intelligence report that I'm going to show you here in just 1 second. You can show or hide data or information. As you can see on the left-hand side, numbers are on the screen. You hit the little toggle switch that says show data on the right-hand side, and boom, everything X's out. And that's in case you're in front of a client or whatever the case might be. You can just go ahead and do that as well. Profile, quick links, and search. This is how I found this person, just by going into a universal search. Before, we had to go into a separate search for depending on the type of policy, product, and so on, where now in one single place, you can see the whole thing. Site organization. And this is, again, I'll give you a breakdown as to some of these things: sales and marketing, book of business, products, training, help, and business insights. One of the good things about what's happening right now is that all new policies have email addresses with them and phone numbers, whereas before, when we took paper applications, they would not transfer that information over to the book of business. And so it makes it hard to follow up. Sales and marketing, community engagement for those working in those markets for the life changer of the year, which is the teacher of the year. Everything's now in one single place. Market yourself. Client videos, especially the living benefits videos that National Life puts out. They're really, really good. Make sure you learn how to leverage those as well. NLG marketing, product marketing, sales concepts, sales operations, and everything else that you need right there. And if you look under sales concepts, you'll see the strategies to help middle America, clients, educators, business owners, and more. So no matter what market you're going after, you can customize the message, if you would, right there as well. And this is my favorite part, which is the book of business, new business, and Inforce client and tools. And this is where you'll have all the information you need, whether it be viewing and accessing all new business cases, the transfers and exchanges to see where they're at, and the placement report. If you're sending in 10 applications, how many of them are being placed, being issued? For some people, it's 10. For some people, it's 5 out of 10. And so you can understand where you need to improve, if you would, to increase your income by just simply increasing your placement percentage as well. Inforce clients and reporting, search and view all your clients. New client view shows you all the policies, both life and annuities, in one place. And again, before we had to go to different places for that. New business listing, pretty self-explanatory. It just simply lists it all right there. I like the details that you can click on anything, and it breaks it down into a view that before only the National Life Group headquarters people had access to as well. And here's my favorite part as it relates to technology, especially with the pandemic, and that is the rise of e-delivery. National Life Group was the last company that we work with that really jumped on the bandwagon of e-delivery and their attorneys had a hard time with several steps that were required while everybody else was already doing it. And then the pandemic hit, and they said, let's do it. And they went ahead and did that. And so as you can see, e-delivery is making a tremendous difference because they're all being accepted now. Whereas delivery, we had agents that were sitting on 5, 6, 7, 10 policies that needed to be delivered, that if you didn't deliver it within a certain amount of time, they expired on you, which was just as dumb as it gets to lose business for that reason. And yet we were having an issue with that. No longer when you do the e-policy or e-delivery as well. And it comes with the cover sheet, which is the policy promise, which you see on the right-hand side, and everything else. Now, the intelligence, client intelligence we did a couple of months ago, they were probably going to do in the coming weeks once again, because they did improve it even more. But the client intelligence will tell you in real time anything that has happened within the last 60 days as it relates to servicing of an NLG, IUL, or annuity. Whether it be policy conditions, maybe it's their birthday, their policy anniversary, it's all generated right here in the client intelligence section. And so therefore, it's very important for you to be aware of that, and that you can make sure every single time, as much as you possibly can, that you do have the information. Because if the number one, what do you think is the number one reason agents don't follow up or talk to existing clients from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago? You know it happens, right? I hope you know that. Very, very common. Why do you think people stop doing that? Why? Anybody? Well, I'll give it to you. And this is part of the reason, by the way, we're going to the new platform. And so the number one reason is that they lose initial touch with them. And then they find it very hard, very awkward to reinitiate contact when you haven't spoken to them for 1 whole year, maybe 2 whole years. If you don't talk to your clients for 2 years, buddy, let me tell you something. You're not going to call them after 3 because you feel dumb reaching out to them. Say, hey, it's been 3 years. I know it's been 3 years. I just thought about you now, but I didn't think about you for the last 3 damn years. I mean, and that's the way it works. Whereas when you have an excuse, when you have a reason, if you would, then that changes the whole thing. Let me just make sure. Hold on. Oh, there you go. That changes the dynamics, if you would. When you call somebody and simply say, hey, Steve, this is Javier. How are you? Good. Listen, I'm calling you because it's the 1-year anniversary next week of your policy. Congratulations, first of all, but also because I wanted to make sure we could schedule actual annual review via Zoom, comfort of your home. And it's all going to be done from your phone, tablet, or computer, a laptop. And we can go ahead and knock that out. How's everything else going? Good. And there it is. Or when you call another one, here, Wanda, it's Wanda's birthday. Hey, Wanda, it's Javier Rodriguez, National Life Group. How are you? Good. Hey, listen, Wanda, I was calling you because I know your birthday's coming up, and I wanted to kind of give you an early birthday present. And I wanted to see if you'd be interested in a quick vacation to Las Vegas. It's 4 days, 3 nights. We pay for everything except taxes, and of course, getting there and back. Is that something that would interest you? I mean, what a different way to start a conversation. And that's exactly what this allows you to do. Inforce Clients, obviously, this is where your renewals are coming from, as long as you're the servicing agent. Oh, God. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Anyways. Marcela. Anyways, there you go. I want to make sure it's back. And so it's very important when it comes to the Inforce, because this is where you get paid your renewals. Let me tell you something. The day will come when you are either not going to want to or not be able to do all the personal selling that you might be doing today. And it's going to be nice to be able to switch to passive and residual and recurring income from just the renewals from you and your team. And when that happens, that's the whole purpose of this. But what good is it if you have policies that are falling off the books because they're dying on the vine from lack of communication, client support, and so on? So do yourself a favor, make sure you take a look at this from time to time, and then a lot of the client tools that are available here as well. And what's nice about this is what I just did with this one policyholder that I just spoke to. At any time, you can click on custom review, and you will see the exact same view of this report that the client will see. Because the first thing, this client was really upset initially, no idea, had gone already to a CPA, and the CPA gave her a list of things to ask because it's probably going to be a scam. And I mean, just a mess. And by the time I, got my hands on her, I was like, well, first of all, let's start off with the policy. Do you have, she goes, oh, I have never gotten a thing. I've gotten a thing from this policy in years as it relates to information and reports. I go, well, let's do this. If you want to, we can log it together, and I'm going to show you where you're going to be able to pull up all your annual reports that you should have gotten in the mail. Well, maybe I did get it, but I never opened them. Okay, well, that's a different thing. You are getting information. You're just simply not looking at it. And I get it. You must be busy and this and that and blah. Oh, yeah, I just had a baby. Okay, well, congratulations. But it is available. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you downloaded the client's app? No. Okay, well, let me send you a link right now. And I send her a link. Click on it on your phone. It'll open up the App Store, and it'll download it. It's going to ask you for a policy number, which I'm including in the email. And once you put that in there and the other pertinent information, you're going to create an account. And when you open it, you will see not just the value, but how much of it is available for you to borrow. It'll show you the beneficiaries, because I'm looking at your list of beneficiaries, and your new baby is not a beneficiary. Oh, I forgot. That's one thing we can change as well. So I gave her a whole laundry list of things that she needed to do as well. And by the time we were over, she was very happy. She was very happy, and she's still happy. And so now she is part of my client list that I am tapping into for referrals and so on. But again, you as the agent have to know where the resources are before you can send them to it as well. And then anyways, long story longer here, as you can see, a comprehensive library of the life and annuity product information to help you market and sell client solutions, whether it be annuities, life insurance, interest rates, investments. Somebody just called me, as a matter of fact, Friday night, about somebody who needs annuity for $350,000, plus another person wants to start a big IUL, and so on. All these referrals are coming from information obtained from my client list that I used to communicate with them electronically. Sometimes it is personal, me sending them the email. 99% of the time, it's me sending it to my email through my email list, and the email list just puts their first name automatically on every single person, so I don't have to write all these individual emails, and it works. It does the job as well. And then, of course, there's training if you want to get certified for the 403B market, continuing education, and how to do business with NLG, and so on, and so on, and so on, especially on the help side as well. Again, if you don't have the actual app for agents from National Life Group, I encourage you to do so by downloading it today and log in and see how much information is now being jam-packed into an actual app, which is simply incredible. That will make it that much more productive. And like I said earlier, in the long run, that much more profitable as well. Any questions from anybody at all before we wrap it up? Any questions at all? Any comments, any thoughts, anything before I choke you the hell out, because I want to hear from you guys. But if not, all right. If not, like I said, I'm not going to.
I got one thing, Javier, on that client intelligent thing. It was pretty cool. I looked and I checked and I saw some birthdays coming up, and it was to one of the officers from some of the things we did. So he was just happy.
Cool.
Just reached out a simple happy birthday, and it can start the whole conversation over again. And I saw that on the client intelligence birthday part.
It's there for you. That's the beauty of it. I had to do this by hand before on my phone. Before I submitted the paper application, I would scan it. Then I would type in, I would create a new contact, their name, their home address, their date of birth, everything, so that I could be reminded. Now it's done for you, but like anything else, things that are done for us now are easier to take for granted. And so congratulations, Keith, on leveraging it the way it's intended to be leveraged. And for everybody else, I think that's a lesson to be learned as well. Any thoughts from anybody? Like I said, I don't have the exact date when we transition over to eCam. All you're going to get is an email. We're going to keep the domain FFS Webinar. And once you do that, it'll just simply pop you over to YouTube. And there you can watch. And if you want to ask a question, participate, you have to type it into the comment section and it'll pop up on the screen. It's really cool. But it's more conducive for what we're doing. The whole purpose of us having this Zoom thing was to be not just virtual, but interactive. We see you, we hear you, and so on and so on. It really never has panned out that way. It's like pulling teeth. And so therefore, we're going to try eCam live, and we will be live. And then the next step will be just record a class and release it Saturday morning at 9 a.m., let's say. But guys, I don't know. I think it defeats the purpose of being live and giving people a chance to participate as well. Any other questions, comments, thoughts, concerns from anybody about anything? Like I said, I will be at the FFS open house. If anybody else is going to be there, I look forward to seeing you there as well. If you look in your chat box, I sent you a link with the link to the PowerPoint or PDF that I just shared with you right now in case you want to review it as well. And I really do thank everybody that did their part to make September truly the best month in the history of FFS as far as commissions paid out to the field ever. And so it's just more, as I say, the proof is in the pudding, and our people are doing really, really well. I just want more of you to raise yourselves and your standards and your production to that level. And it starts with the level of belief that you have that what you do here really does matter. Questions? Last call, going once, twice. If not, thank you so much. Be safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.